This session, we will be discussing about the purchase module. We have covered the sales module, so we'll be straight away getting into the purchase module. The operation in the purchase works exactly similar to the sales. You would have the list of vendors here. You can see all the vendors' name inside the purchase tab under the vendors. So I have ABC, company called ABC there. Now, whenever I need to create a RFQ, or request for a quotation, I can click on the create button and I can select the company to whom I want it. I can even select what is the currency to which I will be doing that. I'm not changing the currency at this point of time. And straight away come to the products. I'm just selecting what products do I need. So I need 10 pieces of this product. And since I'm asking for RFQ, that's like asking the price from them. I don't know what is a price. So I'm just saving this RFQ with, I'm just telling that I need this product, and the RFQ is getting created. Now, once the RFQ is created, I can click on this, sorry, not on the purchase order. I can click on this request for quotation button here. So when I click on the request for quotation, basically it creates a RFQ form for you where you can see that this is a product I'm looking at it. This is a company's name. I'm not filled all the details, and I'm telling that I need this item on this expected date. So typically, what happens here is they would share you their quotation. This is our quotation, and all the price will be given. So you would go back and you will update what is the unit price. I can update it as 220 is the unit price, and I can save it. So once I save it, if I'm okay to send it to the client as a confirmed PO, I can send it just by clicking on the confirm order. So once you confirm it, you can also attach their quotation price list what they have shared to you as a reference for yourself. And once this is completed, you can start getting into the next process. That is like you can actually create a bill against it. And when you click on the create bill, it will create a bill where you can actually make the payment against it. And it is asking how many quantities are you actually billing it. I can bill for the whole 10, and I can save it because some clients requires advance payment for them. So in that case, you can have the bills received, and once the bills is received, the price and everything is fine. I can validate it, and I can trigger the payment against it. So by clicking on this register payment button, it'll come back and ask you from which bank are you actually planning to make the payment. So I can tell that from this bank, and I can click on the validate button, which makes the payment process complete. So whenever you're done with that payment process, you can always come back to the purchase orders, and you would be able to see that purchase order sitting down there. And whenever the product is ready to receive, you can go to the receipt button and you can validate the product receival from there. So in the receival process, typically what will happen here is you have ordered for 10 quantity for some reason. Let's say that they delivered 9 quantity of the product and 1 quantity is not in good condition. So in that case, you can tell that exactly how much did you receive it. So I'm receiving 9 units out of it. I can save it, and while validating, it'll come back and ask you your initial order is for 10 items, and you're receiving less products than the initial demand. So do you want a back order? So if you're going to receive the product of the rest of the one product from them, then you can click on the create back order. If no, then you can click on the no back order. And by that process, if you come back to the purchase order, you can see that there will be two receipts linked into it. One receipt is already received those product, which is the status as done, and that is for 9 items. And if you want to see the other, it is for 1 item which is waiting. And whenever they come up with that product, you can validate that as well. So by that, you will be actually receiving all the products, and that PO process will be completed. So if you come back to the PO, you can see that purchase order sitting down there, where you can see that the quantity and the received quantity and all those bill quantity. So it is matching. That means that it is a completed transaction. There is nothing which is pending or awaiting in the system. Now, there is certain functionalities apart from this. That is like you have a purchase agreement functionality. So this is applicable if in case whenever you are purchasing a product, you are purchasing it by comparing the price with multiple vendors. In that case, we can use this purchase agreement. So here you can have more than one RFQ from different companies and you can evaluate it. There is a reporting module inside it which will tell you what is but right now we have only one vendor, but I do have a pivot reporting here. Now I can see that I have 5,580 is my total purchase value. I can actually select a lot of information out of it. For example, I want to understand it. Um, what is this order is all about? What are the products which I ordered for? So I can see that there is 10 products of in a basin and a tonic basin of 30. So you can get this kind of information regarding to all those data. It also will allow you to tell you the information based on date. So for example, I am more interested to know on order date. So it is telling you that on 13th you had 10 quantities, April 18th you had 20 quantities. Now this can be either day or month or week or quarter. So you can see that you can select it however you would love to see those values for you. So that's a nutshell about the purchase module. I'm not getting in detail about the purchase module right now. Straight away we are going into the inventory just to show you what all functionalities do we have there. Now, when you come to the inventory, we have all the transfer details here. So, whatever transfers, incoming, outgoing, whatever status it is, you would be able to see it on the screen. There are functionalities like you can actually group it by status. So it'll tell that you have one item which is pending to deliver. You have those items which is completed. Now, similarly, you also have batch picking. So let's say that you have one customer who needs to have 5 items to be delivered in multiple sales orders. You can have batch wise picking for that. There is inventory adjustment, which normally companies do once in a month or once in a quarter to check whether all the stock is correct. So what it will do here is you can click on this create button, and you can tell that inventory adjustment 2021 first QTR, and you can select for which location are you doing it. I'm doing it for the Riyadh, and all products, and I'm basically selecting even if there is any exhausted product, please show me that so that I can see that and start inventory. So there you go. So when you see that, it is telling you that you currently have in this location 35, 25, 62, and 35 products. So if you have any change in this, is what the system is supposed to have, what you see under the theoretical quantity. But if there is any change, you can tell that what is the actual number that you have there. So it'll adjust the stock based on that. So I'm telling that I'm having 60 units in basin's stock. So basically, that means that you have a loss of 2 products. So the system keeps a track of those inventory adjustments, telling that those 2 products missing from inventory adjustment of Riyadh stock, and all those information will be there. Now, you have different functionalities like reordering levels. So if in case you have certain products which you always need in your bucket, so you can tell that if this product minimum quantity is 10, automatically create RFQ or a purchase order to make it to 30, so that you will not have any situation where you run out of these products. Now, the next thing is with respect to the reports part of it. You have an inventory report, and the inventory report is talking about all the inventory what you have on that day. So it is telling you have this product in three locations, and this is the quantity what you have there. So you can see the on-hand quantity there. You can see it as a report just by clicking on this pivot functionality, and when you click on the pivot functionality, just give it a minute because it's opening for the first time. You can see that in each location it is telling these are locations you have these many pieces of product. So if you look at the basin, in Dammam you have 12, in Jeddah you have 40, and in the Riyadh you have 35. Now, you can get all those details by the inventory reports. Similar to that, you have inventory valuation. You can click on the inventory valuation, and this will tell you what is your inventory that you have as on date. So it also will tell you the stock moves, whatever stock has been moved from what location to where. All those history will be there, and all the inventory related activities, including landing cost and stuff like that, is also a part of the solution. Now, we just want to make this video small, so just for that purpose, we are stopping this video, and we'll have the last video which talks about the accounts part of it. Feel free to let us know if there is anything that you would like to get more details about the inventory or purchase.